Hello. So after the explanation of the interior monologue, that is to say, the conventions the writer uses to express the psychological dimension of the stream of consciousness, we have various examples of interior monologues taken from Ulysses, written by James Joyce. Interior monologue with two levels of narration, due livelli di narrazione. Study the visual analysis of this extract from episode 4, quindi il capitolo 4 of James Joyce's Ulysses, dell'Ulisse di Joyce, 1922. Mr. Bloom appears in the novel for the first time. He is the most important character in the novel. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. He is at home in Dublin, making breakfast for his wife Molly and speaking to his cat. He's making breakfast, he's speaking to his cat, and as he does all these things, he thinks, we have his ideas, we see the functioning of his mind. So, you see that the words that are highlighted in yellow are objective, external level of narration, use of third-person narrator. So you have a dimension of a conventional writing, third-person narrator. Mr. Leopold Bloom ate with relish the inner organs of beasts and fowls, so this is seen by an external narrator. Then you have regular sentences with subjects, quindi frasi regolari con soggetto, verbs and complements in the standard order, quindi in ordine standard la frase è costruita regolarmente. The sentences evidenced in pink, second level of narration, quindi il secondo livello della narrazione, which takes place within the character's consciousness, quindi è entro la coscienza del personaggio, e quindi sono le loro associazioni mentali. Right. Then irregular statements with elision of subjects, quindi frasi regolari, senza soggetto, auxiliary verbs o senza verbi ausiliari, and reversal of the standard order of words, quindi non c'è l'ordine standard delle parole. Right? We don't see this. So, cup of tea, good, mouth dry, sono considerazioni come dei lampi, ok, nella mente. A continuation of Mr. Bloom's memory of the cat, okay, he thinks of the cat, he thinks of the cat's attitude. Now, page 185, we have the interior monologue with the mind level of narration. Of course, you are free to read the passages. The passages are translated into Italian, okay, so it makes it easier to understand. Study the visual analysis of this extract from the final episode. So the final episode is the last chapter, and we see Molly Bloom, Bloom's wife. She's in bed and she's falling asleep. And this chapter is written without any punctuation at all. Non c'è punteggiatura. This absence of punctuation expresses the continuity of the stream of consciousness, quindi ci esprime la continuità del flusso della coscienza. You manage to read it because he uses a certain rhythm of the words. Lui usa un certo ritmo logico delle parole, per cui si riesce a leggere benissimo. From the first to the last word, quindi dalla prima all'ultima parola, no external element interrupts Molly's monologue, quindi non c'è un elemento esterno, tipo la punteggiatura, ad interrompere il monologo di Molly. It is late at night, è tardi la sera, she is in bed, è a letto, half awake, in una dormiveglia, thinking that Mr. Bloom must have had some erotic adventure, pensando che il marito fosse sarà rimasto fuori per una scappatella because he has asked her to bring him breakfast in bed the following morning. Le ha chiesto di portargli la colazione a letto la mattina seguente. He has not asked for anything of the kind, non ha chiesto niente del genere, since he had pretended he was ill, da quando lui aveva fatto finta di essere ammalato in the past, nel passato, in order to impress Mrs. Riordan. Mrs. Riordan was a widow, era una vedova, whom Mr. Bloom had hoped to inherit some money, dalla quale lui pensava di ereditare dei soldi. In the end she had not left him anything, non gli aveva lasciato nulla alla fine. She had spent all her money on masses, quindi aveva speso i soldi sulle messe for the repose of her own soul, per il riposo della sua anima. If you look at the phrases, the sentences highlighted in yellow, Molly's thoughts are free to move backwards. So you see, there is no punctuation. Yes, because he never did a thing like that before, as asked to get his breakfast in bed with a couple of eggs, since the City Arms Hotel, when he used to be pretending to be laid up with a sick voice. So you see that the rhythm of the words builds up the sentence, non c'è bisogno di punteggiatura, si riesce a leggere benissimo. Molly's thoughts mix present and past, so she goes backwards and forwards through the present and through the past. Complete absence of punctuation and introductions to people or events. Non c'è introduzione, non descriviamo le persone, non vengono descritti gli eventi. And free flowing style. For herself and her soul, greatest miser ever was actually afraid to lay out 4pence for her methylated spirit, telling me all her ailments. She had too much old chat in her about politics and earthquakes and the end of the world. Sono tutte idee che appaiono così disordinatamente. Okay? And this is the major innovation of James Joyce. Remember, James Joyce lived in Italy for some time after he left Dublin, because for him Dublin was too, let's say, too narrow-minded, aveva una mentalità troppo ristretta to accept him as a writer and to make him successful as a writer. So he moved to Paris, and then for a certain period of time he lived in Trieste, where a writer, so a great friend of his, wrote La coscienza di Zeno. Okay? Right, and La coscienza di Zeno was clearly influenced by James Joyce's theories. Okay, right, goodbye.